get this live going. Okay, Buffs Nation, what is going on? Everybody in the chat. I mean, we're going to have a ton of people listening in on this today. We got 20 different social media accounts connected to this stream. This is going to be fantastic. We got a panel. And we're going to be talking Buffs. So y'all be sure to hit that like. Let me know in the comments where you guys are watching from and whose channel you're watching from as well. A pleasure to have both Rob and from Rawhide Media on the show. Rob, since this is the first time, well, I guess it's the second time you've come on my channel. First time on Rob's. Why don't you give us just a little background on who you are and what people get from you when you come to your channel?
What's up, fellas? Hey, it's your boy Rawhide Media for you, man. Hey, when y'all tune in to me with things, I try to. Well, first, let me just say this, guys. I just want to have a conversation with you guys. If you ever listen to me, you know how I end. Hey, I ain't going to present.
Hey, Rob, I'm sorry, man. I think your mic's kind of cutting in and out right now.
Is it? Let me do some. Yeah. Let me do something. I'll let Rob. I'll let Rob.
All right, well, we'll put him on standby right now. But Rob, man, how are you doing, dude?
Man, I'm doing good. For those who don't know, this is RobDaMan Media, baby. And if you don't know, I always had a bag of popcorn ready to go because it's always entertaining, baby. We got to get it going. But yes, we're live and direct, baby. Let's get it.
Man, let's get it. And y'all let us know if there's anything particular that we want to that you want us to be touching on, hitting on. But man, Rob, we haven't talked about the ASU game together. I mean, man, yes. it was a lot of the same, man. A lot of like, oh my God, is this happening? Oh my God, is this happening? You know, we got the win. It wasn't pretty, but entertaining nonetheless. I'll start with you, Rob, man. Give us just a quick overview of some of the highlights, takeaways that you had from the game with ASU.
Yeah, so a few of my takeaways from that game. We did what we supposed to do. We came there and got the W. For me, I wasn't happy with the way we played, right? Offensively, defensively. We still waiting on that one game to put everything together, right? We still waiting on that one game. I will say this. It's a wake-up call, right? It's a wake-up call, right? Each week, man, we're expecting this, and this to happen, and we still ain't got this, and this to happen, right? I think we see more things than the coaches see on the field at sometimes. But, hey, it is what it is, man. But definitely, us being 4-2, right? What else could you ask from just being 4-2, already over the win projections. Shout out to everybody that won their money over the weekend for that 3.5. Shout out to y'all, man, because, hey, it was there, baby. It was there to be had. So shout out to them, man. Just expecting a great week from, this Stanford time. But, man, looking back at that, we could definitely play better in all three phases. But shout out to Mr. Mata himself. I don't miss, baby. I don't miss, man. Shout out to him.
Man, I love that, man. With Mata, man, automatic. There's probably a better way to say that. That sounds like a nickname, but Rob, man, let's give this a second. Let's give this a second shot, man. How's that mic sounding over there?
Hey, y'all tell me. Can y'all hear me? How do I sound?
You're good to go, man.
Hey, one.
Crystal
clear, I appreciate
man.
it. Hey, if you don't mind, I'd like to piggyback on what Rob just got through speaking on about winning 4 games. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got paid. You know what I'm saying? I got that paper. You heard me? But you know what I'm saying? But I think what's missed from a lot of people that's watching the Colorado Buffaloes, not us as us fans, but those in the mainstream media. Guys, do you all understand that Colorado, right? If they get this victory, if they get this win on Friday night, they will match the most wins that Colorado has had since 2016. that miracle season. Remember the miracle season? Now, if you take out the miracle season, they will match the most wins that Colorado has had since 2005. I don't think people understand that enough. You know what I mean? All they want to harp on is 1-11. Bro, he has put his hand down somebody's throat and yanked out some of the best coaching that we can have. You feel what I'm saying? Because any team can have a bad season and 1-11, 2-11. But history, nearly 20 years, it's about the match that he can win on Friday. I think that's talked about enough.
They don't talk they don't talk about it because a lot of them are just Prime fans. They just got to see you, so they don't really know the history, the background, things like that. So that takes into a lot of partners. I got asked this question earlier today. Is this a successful season? Yes, it's already been a successful season. We won one game last year. It's already been a successful season. What else, like everything that Coach Prime is doing is just adding, onto the cake, right? We just adding foundation, adding layers into the cake right now. And for Coach Prime, is Coach Prime satisfied? No. Am I satisfied? No. Go get all we can get, because all it's going to do is add on to what we're doing now and bring in more and better recruits. That's all that's going to happen.
Yeah, this year has been incredible. And Rob, you hit on it, man. A lot of people don't understand. It's like, okay, we're going off against, or getting these victories on the road against Arizona State or whatever. And we're, we'll do the Shador, we'll talk a little smack to the fans, all that, man. These guys have beat up on us for our entire time in this conference, man. Basically everybody has. And this is our revenge tour, man, for a lot of these teams before, in some of our cases, before we go our separate ways. It was unfortunate that we couldn't get it done against USC or Oregon. Maybe we'll meet them here in the college football playoff, years down the line or here or so. But man, every victory means a ton. And the fact that we're going to be hopefully at 5 wins, man, I don't know. I mean, I got a little bit of money on that 7 wins and over too, man. To see how that goes.
No hope in that. Win. No hope. Win. It's gonna happen.
That's right, man. Well, okay, let's talk about this, man. Let's just go ahead and get into it. What midseason adjustments? I mean, we gotta make some adjustments here going against Stanford. Rob, I know you've been covering it a little bit. I've already kind of taken a look just briefly at what Stanford does. Rob, I'm not sure how much you've looked into Stanford yet, but what do we need to adjust from Stanford and then moving forward into this bye week? Because we don't have any more gimmies or favored matchups, man. Well, I think we're favored by over 10 points against Stanford. I doubt we come in favored at that level or even favored at all right now with our performances Vegas-wise for any of our matchups after the bye.
The only one we'll be favored in will be Arizona. But go ahead, Rawhide.
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about for future and not this next game against Stanford, I guess what I'm thinking, guys, I don't know for I can only give you my opinion, what I project, but I think during that bye week, you may see some adjustments to that offensive line. You may see a replacement for Bailey, because it'll enable you to have enough time, right, to get somebody worked in. You may see a McCrinnon come in, you know what I'm saying? You may see an individual, you may see Young move to guard and put somebody else at tackle. But I think they're going to make an adjustment, right, on that offensive line during this off cycle, and that'll give them an opportunity, right, to get it worked in. That's the biggest adjustment that I think that you'll see.
Hey, you hit it right there in the head. That's where I was going. Don't expect no adjustments to be made this week. It's going to be made after this week. Just because you have that phase. So we're going into that bye week. We got the extra time, the repetition time to really take it to the next level, right? So after the game, they'll probably be off for the weekend and probably come back on Tuesday just to get them 4 days away from football, away from the facilities, away from everything. And all they got to do is just focus on class, come in there, eat, get a little film study in, and they were going to do that to that Tuesday. And then after that, it's time to really make your adjustments, right? What do you want to see for that second half? Because you come down the stretch run. So now, you're looking at the Arizonas, the Oregon States, Washington State, Utah, and I'm missing somebody else off the top of my head. But
you got Oregon State?
Yeah.
Oregon State's homecoming.
Oregon State's the homecoming. We got Arizona,
UCLA.
UCLA. Yes, so that's I missed the first game. So UCLA, right? We can go there. We can take care of business. Is UCLA going to be easy? No, it's not. But with the adjustments, everybody should be back fully healthy. That's been out. That's been banged up. David Connor, he'll be healthy. So we'll see what they do if they redshirt him or if they play him. We'll see that for the second half. So everything is predicated. Yeah, everything's going to be predicated on the bye week, right? Where about everybody at? Are you going to be in game type shape, right? What kind of physical shape you're going to be going to the UCLA game? So this is a huge week for us. Get this big victory. Number 5, 1 game away from being bowl eligible. And I've been saying this month we will be bowl eligible. We will be bowl eligible by the end of this month. And I've been saying it, and it's gonna come to fruition.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I mean, listen, if Colorado make it to the bowl, what we mean by that is, if you play to that, you won ball game, right? You're 500 team. I truly believe that once that happens, y'all, Coach is going to be the coach of the year. I mean, this is essentially what Kansas did last year. He will be coach of the year, hands down. You know what I'm saying? And I'll throw this in too. Don't let them get to 9 wins. If they get 9 wins, Shedeur Sanders is going to win the Heisman Trophy. Write it down. He's going to win the Heisman Trophy first because there'll be 9 wins on his back. You saying he took him to the promised land. And y'all know RG3 won the Heisman Trophy. They only had 9 victories this season. They last one at the last one on the last game of the season against Texas. So they already got a president for my man will be the Heisman Trophy winner. They get the
That's a great point, Raw. I'm sorry, man. You're cutting out again. You might need to rejoin or something, man.
Yeah, you cut out. I picked up like half of everything that you were saying, but my projection for CU is 9-3. So I'm staying with it. I ain't changing.
9-3, man. And I agree. RG3 won a Heisman at 9-3. That's what Rob was getting at. And man, I've talked about this on other channels, separate from Colorado world. They think, man, if Coach Prime can get this team to 9-3, he's a shoo-in for Coach of the Year, and Shedeur has to be right up there for the Heisman, no doubt. Especially as man, the leading passer in FBS football and the most hit. Have we seen anything like crazier than that? How can you not? I don't know. Just be impressed with Shedeur being able to sustain those hits, but I mean, Coach Prime, man, he was done with it post-game. I felt like he kind of reached a breaking point, man, with that line. So even if we're not switching up the offensive line with going into this matchup on Friday on a short week, do you guys see like anything that can be done, to ensure that Shedeur doesn't take a beating this time around? Does Travis Hunter help out with that at all?
Yes, Travis Hunter does definitely help. With that, now what's going to be interesting to see is what do they utilize with Travis Hunter? How do they utilize Travis Hunter? I said this. I think that they should use Travis Hunter more like a Tyreek Hill, the way Miami Dolphins move him around, put him in the backfield, put him in the slot, put him on the outside, move him around on the field so people don't get comfortable. But with Travis Hunter coming back, teams can't do what they've been doing to us the last 3 games. And that's blanketing Weaver. That's doubling Jimmy in the slot. You can't do that no more because now you got Travis Hunter matched up one-on-one with a safety or outside linebacker. We're going to take that every day, all day, Sunday, every day, Monday through Sunday. So you can't do what you've been doing. You can't play the same way you've been playing over these last couple of weeks because Travis Hunter been out because you don't have that threat on the other side. So having, Weaver and Horn on the same side, now you got Travis Hunter and you got Miller or Javon Antonio on the other side. So you got your 2x2 set. So now you can't double. You're gonna have to play man up. So it's definitely gonna open up the field. And the person that benefits the most by Travis Hunter coming back is gonna be Jimmy Horn.
Yeah, man. How do I sound now? Do I sound better?
Yeah, you sound better.
Okay. Let me ask y'all guys a question. Do Rob and David, do y'all really do y'all think that Travis Hunter going to play both ways this game against Stanford? You think he's going to play both ways?
I wonder about how much they'll play him on defense though, because Stanford, man, sometimes they'll bring in these jumbo packages. I don't know how many snaps we'll see him on the field regarding defense. Just because of the different personnel packages they'll be running. But, I could just be, someone that's proved wrong and he could just play, lock down that number 1 wide receiver, even if they're only running 1 wide receiver out of there most of the time. I don't know. You've had a longer chance to look at this, Rob. What are your thoughts?
Yes. My thoughts on it, right? Travis Hunter will play both ways. Otherwise, they're not gonna put him out there. If he can't play both ways, they ain't gonna put him out there. That's just how Prime operates. When it comes to Travis Hunter and players like that, if you're not 100%, he's not gonna let you be a liability. So, um, it does benefit for us from playing offense and defense. But I do think I do believe once they go to their three tight end set at Stanford, they had a one wide receiver. They're just gonna leave Travis Hunter on the island by himself, and he's gonna take that one receiver, and then we're gonna have less DBs on the field because we're gonna have to go with that more 50 front, having 5 down linemen, and 3 linebackers. We're gonna have to put more big players out there this week playing against Stanford. So I do believe he's gonna play both ways.
How much do y'all think we'll hear from or see from Alton McCaskill this week? I know Coach Prime said in his presser that you should see some more. Are we thinking like him to be that primary back with Hankerson right now, or how are you guys interpreting that?
I think you're going to see, as you mentioned, Coach Prime already talked about. You'll see a lot more of him this upcoming game. I hope I still sound good, guys. Y'all put your hand up if I don't. But I think you're going to see a lot more of them. I think sometimes, I don't know if. What about now? I don't think.
Cut out, bro. I'm sorry,
yeah,
man.
You start out good, and then they just like start fading out. I'll say this. I think you'll see on a scale of like 1 to 5 how much you will see more of Alton McCaskill. I'll say 4 out of 5 in that situation. But I think Hankerson starts, and then they're gonna try to rotate Otto in as that second back, and then bring Dylan Edwards in more situational base now. Now, I do say with Travis Hunter coming back, that's a benefit to us, both in the running game and the passing game. Because now you can't load up the box to come after Shedeur, right? You can't blitz. So it should open up a foundation for us to be able to run the ball in a positive situation. Now, with Otto, they'll probably end up giving him 3 or 4 series. That's what I'm going to look at. He's got to prove it in 3 or 4 series. If he doesn't prove it, then they're going to take him right back out. So he's definitely going to get his 1 series. That's for sure. But when Coach Prime said that, I think they're going to try to increase his workload and give him 3 or 4 more. Hey, man, you got to have the popcorn, baby. You got to have the popcorn. Y'all all know that's the theme for me. Got to have the popcorn, baby. But back to Alton McCaskill. I do believe he'll get more series this game because one thing about Stanford, it's going to be a physical game in the trenches, right? We need those big backs in there that can go forward and not go backwards. It's not saying that Dylan Edwards can't get the job done, but when you got Otto, when you got Smoke, when you got Wilson in there, they're going forward for 2, 3, 4 more yards when they hit that first contact versus Dylan Edwards is going backwards 2 or 3 yards. So it's definitely going to be an opportunity for him to get unleashed, and this is why not be the perfect game to do it.
Hey, Rob, can I piggyback that real quick?
Oh man, I'm sorry, bro. You're still cutting out, man.
Yeah, you might have to just drop off and come back on. Just drop off and come back on. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll do that. But Rob, I had a question for you with with all this. I mean, I know Stanford runs more of that 3-3-5. You pointed that out a little bit today. How much or any, this might not be an issue at all, but I'm just curious about your opinion. With Arizona State kind of running more of that 4 down lineman look, is that kind of, that gave us trouble? Is that kind of something that you might see other teams try and implement right now with us? Like, might we see Stanford run some 4 down linemen? Is dealing with 4 defensive linemen compared to like a 3-3-5 where you're still rushing 4, but maybe it's a linebacker? Is there a difference in your mind?
Yeah, so there is a difference, right? Having 4 down linemen versus 3 down linemen or 2 down linemen. Just because you're trying to figure out where the pressure's coming from, right? And I said 3-3-5 for most people to understand what kind of defense Stanford is running, but it's
Mhm.
more like a 2 down lineman, 4 outside linebackers, and 5 DBs look. So that means, you don't know where those 2 other outside linebackers are going to line up. So it's more like a 2-4-5 in a situation. But I just said 3-3-5 because it's much easier. Like when you're watching a film, you're going to see them have 3 down linemen a lot. But it's really only really 2 predicated defensive linemen that's down. Everybody else could be standing up or rushing from different angles. So it's much easier to pick up blitzes and understand when you're running a 4-3 versus a 2-4-5 or a 3-3-5. So
Yeah. Most definitely. Yeah. Aurelius is coming in here saying, yeah, we ran a lot of 3-4 and 4-2 last week. And man, again, I was real impressed with our pass rush, in that fourth quarter. We are the more conditioned team, and I think that's going to benefit us more moving forward. But in terms of attacking Stanford's offense, what are some of the things that you feel like we need to be mindful of, or that CU will be mindful of going into this thing?
Man, it's gonna be a dogfight. You gotta be ready to go in the trenches. I can tell you that. Like if you think that like you finna just come in here and blow out Stanford, and you don't got that mindset of you got to come in here and be a dog, you're gonna get blown off the ball. What I can give credit to, the defense is we've been giving up less than 100 yards for the last 2 games. How many times can we really say that? So we're improving in the running game, but this week is gonna be that challenge, right? When you start to see them run out 3 tight ends, 2 tight ends, jumbo packages, can we really go up there and stop the run? This is a game. This game right here is a game that's meant for like the Bentleys of the world, the Jujus of the world, the people that want to come down there and hit. Even like a Jeremiah Brown, this would be a good game for him. Playing against running teams, this would be a good game for our safeties, like the Roger Wards, the Shilohs, the Trevor Woods that want to come down, the Travis Jays that want to come down there and hit somebody. This is gonna be the game because you're gonna get every opportunity to go lay the wood on somebody because they want to run the ball. Now you gotta be mindful, right? If it's me, I'm going man to man on the outside corners. Y'all just gotta hold up because our main job is to go stop the run. Y'all gotta hold up for any play action and just be man to man because in reality, Stanford only runs like 2 or 3 people out in the route. They don't really run a lot of people out in the route, so you can go man up on that.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, I cut out for a second, but man, yeah, you're totally right. I would assume for them to go man on the outside and stack the box. There were some things with this defense that obviously led to giving points to Arizona State, but a big positive, man, that I took for that is that we held up that run game, man. The strength of their offense. Scadaboo was contained from just having minimal production compared to what he's had in some of these other games. And this is going to be another good test, man, with Stanford, because they're going to come in there, pound the rock. They're not going to try and do all these like trickeration things. They're just going to play smash mouth football and try to be the more physical team. This is, like you said, this isn't a team that we can overlook because if we come in there thinking that we're just going to handle business, we could just get smacked in the mouth, This is a game where we need to bring that intensity. And I think, again, man, this is a great opportunity for us to work on establishing that run, just as a unit, as a team, getting our other running backs into the fold and all that. I know I'm skipping over here a little bit, probably because it's late in the day and my Adderall's wearing off, but with the tight ends with Stanford, man, we've had trouble covering tight ends, man. TCU, their tight ends tore us up. CSU, they had that tight end that was making all sorts of plays over us. What needs to happen for us to stop these tight ends? Do you think we might, be playing some, some coverages that allow for kind of some double coverage on some of these tight ends? What are your thoughts on that?
I think a lot of the times when tight ends are open on us is because we're doing so many checks on defense and people are not adjusting with the checks. Now, I will say this. every team before they play us, they run the ball. But for some reason, when they get to play CU, they turn into a passing team. So I want to keep that in mind with Stanford. It's always a reverse psychology with every team that plays us. They're a great running team before they play us, and then when they play us, it's somehow, some way, they flip to a passing team. So we got to be on our P's and Q's because Stanford can come out here and try to throw the ball. When they normally dominating the running game, they can come out here and try to throw the ball because they was off last week. So they made their proper adjustments. They were off last week. They had their bye. So they had to make some adjustments. And I can guarantee you this. Some way, somehow, they're gonna look on film and they're gonna try to RPO us to death and try to throw the ball. And I'm calling it right now. Some way, somehow, they are not gonna try to run the ball as much and they're gonna try to pass. I don't know why this happens a lot, but it's happening a lot. Like, think about it. Last week, ASU, they were known to run the ball. Guess what? They start running the ball and try to throw the ball on us. Y'all playing to our strength. Okay, cool. Let's do it. So I don't know what it is when people play CU, but that's just the way it is. Now, when it goes to the tight ends, we got to get matched up. That's just simple as that, right? We got to get matched up. We got to know what we're doing on defense. We can't be playing hero ball on the back end. And, just do your assignment. If you're supposed to be a man, be a man. If you're supposed to be in zone, get back into your zone. Don't try to play hero ball and try to do something that you know you're not supposed to do. And that's what gets the mental breakdowns and the missed assignments because you're trying to do something that we didn't work on all week. So,
yeah. No doubt with that, man. It's so funny, man. With these teams, they always seem to, aside from Oregon, man, attack us in different ways than we expect sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you think, with this matchup, I've been curious with this too, man. Do you think, like, in order to get us out to a faster start, do we just say screw conventional wisdom, man, and we take the ball first?
I've been listening to everybody talk about this. Like, man, just take the ball first and go score, right? But here's the thing. Every first series we done had, outside of like the TCU game, we've went 3 and out. So we are a second half team. I just keep it the way it is. Coordinators got to figure it out in the first half. That's just how I look at it, right? Yeah. We are a second half team. We need that momentum, score, go into halftime, come out of halftime and score. I'm going to stay with it. We 4-2. Let's just roll with that. We 4-2. I get it. We got a slow start, but we 4-2. So, hey, we just keep winning the tosses. I don't understand. We keep winning the tosses. We get the ball in the second half. I'll take the second half, man.
No doubt. With things being a work in progress, guys, like, we can't, yes, there could be some things that make us lose our minds. But again, man, we are 4-2. We can't be too angry. We got to be enjoying this. And like y'all pointed out, man, this is the most, oh no. Rawhide Media just texted me. He said he's just getting really slow speed right now. So hopefully he can rejoin, man. We'll be back. We'll be waiting for you, man.
Tell him to turn off his phone.
Oh yeah. Come on your phone and have your camera off. Maybe that will help. That's a great idea. You can get him back on here. Because I want him to rejoin. Now, what was I saying? I was getting to a point, and I just
you were talking about the coin toss and how you feel about it, like far as should we take the ball or not.
Oh yeah, man. But this is one where it's like, man, I'm not expecting everything to be fixed overnight this week. Going against Stanford, but that is something, man, that I would just really like to see us go and score in the first quarter. It's been a while since we've done that, man. Has it been since week 1? Has it been since week 1 since our offensive scored? I know we scored a defensive touchdown against CSU.
It's been literally since week 1.
Come on now, man. That's got to change. And maybe just with the offense feeling the urgency of like, okay, like we got to go do this. Let's start the game out right. But again, we haven't done that even when we found ourselves in a hole, after these first drives on defense. But the other thing, man, that I would love to see is just, of course, some more consistency on special teams. Let's eliminate the dumb penalties. I got to correct myself. I said that Alton McCaskill had a personal foul on one of those punt or kickoff returns. They read the wrong number. I guess it was Demoy Kennedy. So apologies for that. But I don't know what's happening with kickoffs right now, Rob, because I've been kind of confused. I was looking at this ASU game. Jace Feely did the first kickoff, and it was like super short to the point where it's like, knowing his leg, I'm like, is that what they asked for? To kick it high for like a short return. What is happening? And then we bring in 98 Paluzzo, I think his name is. He kicks 2 of those things out of bounds. I just think we just need to tell Feely, just go up there, kick it deep. What's happening right now, man, with the kickoff team?
A lack of focus. That's all. That's the simple way you can break it down. It's just a lack of focus, right? You got one job, man. Kick the ball out the end zone. Everybody else can kick the ball out the end zone against us, but we cannot kick the ball out the end zone. And I know Philly got the leg. It's just a matter of focus and understanding. Like, listen, Philly, I understand you want to go down there and you want to go hit stick somebody because you ain't getting that much. You ain't getting no action outside of when we score. You ain't getting no action to run. I get it. You want to go hit stick. You want to feel like, hey, I'm a linebacker again, baby, because that's what I did in high school. I was a linebacker and kicker. But it's to the point, man, like, we keep putting our defense in a bad situations because we can't do the simple, fundamental things. Even in the punt game, right? We might get one good punt, and then the next punt, we shank it for 25 yards. It's like, come on, man.
Yep.
Like, we just got to be better overall in special teams. When it comes to Mata, just let Mata kick field goals and just leave it at that, right? Just let Mata kick the field goals. Jace Feely focus, right? Because I think some of it's just like Jace Feely just going up and down, up and down, up and down, just because he missed a field goal and he gets yanked out. Mata comes in and makes the field goal. So we just got to focus in, dial in, and really, like, understand, man, like, we have to stop putting our defense in a bad position. Our focus this week is let's get the defense under 60 plays on defense. That should be the goal.
Okay.
Because when you look at it, we've been averaging 85, 90 plays on defense. Let's start to scale that back to get it under 60 plays. And now let's see how different the game is. Because we get it under 60, our offense on the field more, guess what? We're going to score more points. That's just the nature of the game, how it goes. So if we can eliminate the 3 and outs on offense and keep our offense on the field, we'll be fine, and that'll help out with everybody for our special teams. The punter's punting too much. That's what I'm going to say about the punter. Mark don't need to be on the field that much. 1 or 2, I'm cool. Outside of more than two punts, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, so. No doubt. No doubt. I want to give Sean Lewis credit, man, because I know I'm trying to think of, there was a 4th down call earlier in the season that, like, I don't think a lot of people were fans of. It didn't work. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But his 4th down calls on one of the drives that we had against Arizona State, the pass to Dylan Edwards in the backfield, we've seen that run a couple times on 4th down. And then, that it was like a little jet sweep handoff or whatever on 4th and goal to Xavier Weaver. Those were great 4th down calls. And I'd like to see our offense continue to push that aggressiveness on 4th down, because you saw, man, I don't know if you felt it, Rob, but when Arizona State was always lining up to go for it on 4th downs and stuff like that, things just happen. I get anxiety about that, just sitting watching it. And I would love for us to continue to keep that aggressiveness. I guess right now it's like we just need our defense to take some steps to where we feel a little bit more comfortable that we can give up a short field. With some of these kickoff penalties, for instance, I think we at least one of them, it might have been both of them, giving up points, when they're getting the ball at like the 35-yard line or something like that. We can't afford to put our defense in spots like that right now. You're totally right.
I think
go ahead.
More of the issues on defense is coming. We're rotating too much at too freaking high of a rate on defense. So calls are being generated and sent out to the field with what the personnel is, and we're doing last-minute substitutions. And now they're throwing off everything that we want to get done because we already made a call, and now we send in a different personnel. And so now we're trying to check to what the personnel is in, and now people on 2 different pages. So we're substituting and rotating too much especially like first, second downs. And that's really killing us. And so even on third downs, a couple of times where we could have got off the field against ASU makes one substitution and we bring on 3 or 4 people. Now that changes everything that we just called. And now we're trying to get a late minute decision on what to check to because of basic formation. So, and those are the things that Coach Prime getting frustrated about, because Coach Kelly is calling the right plays in the right situations. The problem is the position coaches are substituting the wrong people at the wrong time, and we're getting caught burnt in those situations, and that's what's causing us to call more timeouts than we should be calling.
Fantastic point. Fantastic point, Rob. We're going to try this one more time, man. Everybody, hit that like for good luck.
Oh, my God. I don't even know what to do. Can you hear me?
We hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, first off, let me apologize to everybody that's watching. Look, I'm ignorant. Let's just call it what it is. I ain't up on game, you know what I'm saying? So I apologize, you know what I'm saying? And thank Rob and thank David for being patient with me. I'm just an idiot.
Yeah. No, man, you sound great. Well, give us some of your thoughts, man, on some of this. I don't know how much you were able to catch, but we've kind of been talking about what's leading to the defensive errors, maybe some changes you want to see on special teams. You know we love special teams. So, yeah, give us your thoughts, Rob.
Well, you know, special teams wise kickoff, I don't know if you all touched on this or not, man. Put Jake Feely back in the game, let him kick the ball off on kickoffs, okay? Kick it through the end zone to be done with it. They got, I don't know what it was. Was it a conscious effort was it a conscious decision not to play Feely and Juju? Because I didn't see, did Juju even play against Arizona State?
No.
Someone was saying in the comments that he might have been sick.
He didn't know.
I just find it so coincidental that Juju that played at Arizona State for a short period and Feely that came from Arizona State, neither one of those guys played in the game. That kind of threw me off. You see what I'm saying?
Now, I will say during the Arizona State game, there was some discipline handed down, and so certain players didn't play.
Okay, so maybe that was the case. Second off, you all heard me say before, I'll say it again, you all may have touched on that. I think from a defensive standpoint that, you know, they are who they are. I mean, you can do a few changes. I've talked about using taking Shane Coates, put him at defensive end, playing McNeil and playing Big Juice. You know what I'm saying? Bishop Thomas at the 2 tackle spots. So can y'all still hear me good?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
So you know that could be a change. And then put on the other defensive end side, you can put McLennan. You know what I mean? So I think that could be a change they could do on defense. But overall, man, I think the defense is what it is. When you get Travis Hunter back, there's a whole lot of more things you can do because you know that this individual shuts down a side of the field. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Actually, you can play him man, and then you can play some zone techniques if you choose to. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of versatility that goes in when you got a shutdown corner. I mean, even Coach Prime talked about it when he went to the Dallas Cowboys. He said, hey, all that cover, whatever y'all doing is fine. I got this guy. You can use Travis Hunter the same exact way. But overall, man, I think I shouldn't say but the Colorado Buffaloes, I think their defensive backfield is one of the best in the country. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter that a lot of people have scored a lot of points, guys. If you watch the game, if you watch USC, Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in the country. Okay, I think we can kind of agree on that. But did you all notice how long he was holding the ball? He wasn't doing that because he wanted to. He was doing that because he had to. Now, granted, those shallow crosses, they got a few issues with that. I don't think, and I think what happened is that Cooper is the one who actually they put in work trying to stop that. Kamani was new to the game, and that's why he kind of gave that up. Because remember when they was giving that booty all over, Kamani went in the game against that other team. You see what I'm saying? But now when they inserted Kamani, they hit him with the shallows again. They put him out of the game. We hardly didn't see those shallow crosses. So I didn't mean to go too long on that, but that was just my two. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just my 2 cents in on it. I think their defense is what it is. I think they're a defense that's built to for the offense to get up and them to maintain. I think that's what it is. And when they get down, it puts that defense at a disadvantage. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's what it is.
I want to piggyback off on your defensive line. So what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I want to see Shane Coates at 1 DN Leonard Payne and McNeil up the middle, and put Bishop Thomas on the other end. And let's
honestly, they're gonna have to do. Okay, if Bishop Thomas, Big Juice, if he want to make it to the NFL, they're gonna have to make a decision, because I don't think he even has the body to get to the particular size that he needs to be a defensive tackle, right? Because he's a very athletic individual. Remember, he played tight end also. Yeah. So I think they need to make a decision. Hey, Bishop, I need you to lose 20 and play defensive end, or he's just going to have to be somebody like, and I've referred to this over and over again. I don't know if anybody watched the NFL. He's going to have to be like a Patrick Ricard for the Baltimore Ravens. Patrick Ricard was a defensive tackle that they transitioned into an H-back. And I think that's his best route to get to the NFL. Drop 20, play defensive end, or just be a do-it-all guy, play defense and be able to play H-back and get there. That's just how I see it, because I think he's just a little too small to be a true defensive tackle.
I just want Bishop to put on more weight, honestly. But to be honest, I want to see Bishop Thomas on offense even more. Put him at that tight end, put him at that flex fullback position, and just let him go smash a linebacker. That's all I've been asking.
We need that kind of attitude on our offensive line, man.
Hey, listen, I will tell you this. Let Bishop Thomas be in the game with one of those offensive linemen give up a sack to Shador and don't pick him up and see what happens. I guarantee you Bishop Thomas is going to be in their face. I guarantee you. That's what we need. We need somebody, and that's why it's so hard that, we missing Tyler Brown. Tyler Brown is that guy. He will get in your face, and he would have had enough of enough. And I think we would have seen way more changes been had on the offensive line. And that's a big key to us of what's hurting us. But right now, man, I would love to see them put Bishop Thomas on offense more and let him just go smash somebody.
Dude, I want this guy on the field for all three phases, man. We were seeing him on that kickoff return. But yeah, like I know he's a little light compared to some of our offensive linemen, but he's bigger than a couple, I think. It's hard for me to think, even though he would be a little bit undersized, he can handle some of these guys just because of how tenacious he is. That's how I feel with it. But I think he needs to be utilized more on the offense, man. You guys are right. We need that kind of that kind of fire, that kind of trash talk. Because sometimes, man, I think Coach Prime was just done, man. Like, he didn't call those guys soft, and I'm not going to call them soft, but he said that that they weren't fully in the game. Sorry, I was dancing to your strobe light you had going, Rob. I liked it. You're muted.
You didn't see that, did you?
Man, we got the thing about this, we got so many versatile players on this roster that we need to start using all their versatility in the game. All right. Yeah. I wanted to see Bishop Thomas come in at goal line, put him out there when we're not in goal line, right? We need to go pick up a key pivotal, first down. Put Bishop Thomas in there. I'll tell you this: if Bishop Thomas catches a pass, I guarantee you, ain't no corner gonna be trying to tackle him. I can tell you that. No
I'll
DB,
tell you this:
no safety.
Let's start the Bishop Thomas Heisman campaign, baby. I'm all about that. We need this man playing all three. Let's put this man on kickoff return.
Hey, Bishop Thomas is only a redshirt freshman, so he got time.
Right, and honestly, that last comment I saw about him being 6'2", 305. I think it ain't so much about the 305, it's about the 6'2". You see what I'm saying? And if you all look at him, man, he don't look 305 at all. You know what I mean?
No, he doesn't. He look like he's about 285.
Yeah, exactly. He's not wide at all. But I like Bishop. Honestly, I like Bishop Thomas. I mean, I got a little soft spot for him. He's very entertaining. But what I'm saying, I'm just saying, speaking from his future. His future prospects. I mean, a 6'2", 305 guy ain't gonna play in the NFL. Let's just be honest, at defensive tackle. That's not gonna happen. So, accepting that, I think it also be good for the Colorado Buffaloes if they can use his athleticism. I mean, hell, they put him on special teams. What 305 guy you got running down there for special teams? You see what I'm saying? That's a testament to his athleticism. So, kind of just what you were saying, defensive end. If he dropped 20, right? if he's really 305, he dropped 20. He 285, right? He can play defensive end. That's a legit defensive end. You know what I'm saying? NFL wise, you know what I'm saying? If like you said, and I agree, he looked like he 285. He still dropped 20. He 265. That's a defensive end, and he's athletic. I think now this year, right? They got to do what they got to do. But if we thinking that Coach Prime is going to bring in the big boys like we thinking, do we believe that if he bring in some 6'4", 6'5", 300 pounds, 6'4", 6'5", 295, do we really think Bishop Thomas is going to play above a 6'5", 300 pounds? You see what I'm saying?
Both of the D linemen that are committed are all 6'4", 6'5", 300. The defensive end that just committed, Buford, Bradford, he's 6'4", 290. You know, so we bringing some girth in right now. We got some solid commitments that are above 300 pounds. So we got coming in. And so Bishop Thomas, I can see Bishop Thomas turn into an Aaron Donald with the speed. He's got to get powerful, though. That's the difference. Because Aaron Donald, Aaron Donald is 6'2". Aaron Donald ain't that big, ain't that tall either. But
no, he ain't. But
he's powerful. And Bishop Thomas can do the same thing he can do, but he's got to get stronger. And that's where he's lacking up the middle. And that's why I say you put him at defensive end right now. Let him go against those tackles because he's going to cause a problem. And so we will benefit from him playing edge. Now, I've seen him put Leonard Payne at end, but I haven't seen him put Bishop Thomas at end, which doesn't make any sense to me. So
I would imagine
I'm just confused.
I would imagine, Bishop would have more juice, off the edge, pun intended. But Ra, I want to get to this comment right here because I know that you've talked about this before. Alexis Grant bringing in a great point here. Bishop Thomas 0 sacks. I think Lexus is talking about Bishop. Never seen him put any pressure on the quarterback. And yes, I think that he is at a disadvantage right now going up against those interior linemen. But also, Ra, I know you've talked about this a little bit. Let's talk about the responsibilities, man, of an interior lineman compared to what he might be asked to do coming off the edge.
Oh, yeah. Like you said, I've talked about it before. I think what happens is a lot of people don't really understand that defensive tackles, they don't accumulate a lot of tackles. You see what I'm saying? That's not their primary job. You know what I mean? I've even seen it where you have defensive tackles that's firing off the line at the point of the snap, and coaches get mad because what happened is you're not maintaining your rush gaps, your rush lanes. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that puts people at a disadvantage. I even saw Colorado on one particular game. You had a defensive tackle. He jumped it. All the offensive lineman did was just kind of push him to the side, open up large running lanes. Their objective is to maintain rush lanes and the linebackers to clean that mess up. So I use the example with Aaron Donald. Previous game, Aaron Donald only had 4 tackles. You see what I'm saying? And that's arguably the best defensive player in the NFL. So I think what happens is that that's what people kind of mix up and they misconstrue. And in addition, defensive tackles need to maintain contact so the offensive lineman doesn't get to the second level. So you don't want your offensive lineman getting to the second level, touching your linebackers, which opens you wide up. And that's why, you know what I'm saying? And you see breaking for long runs. Now, do defensive tackles make tackles? Yes, I'm not saying that at all. I don't want to be misconstrued. You know what I mean? But their main job is not necessarily to beat that offensive lineman per se. It's more so make sure you maintain rush lanes and your linebackers got to make the correct decisions. Because I saw the linebackers earlier, especially before Juju.
Yes.
They was hitting the wrong hole. I'm like, where are you going?
They were just running where they thought the ball was going.
Exactly. Like let's take Shane Coates, for instance. If you all really watch Shane Coates, now, he's undersized, but he does an excellent job. Okay. Now, granted, his stats, you won't see it on the stats, but man, he maintains rush lanes very good. And a lot of runs that's broken, it ain't because of his failure. It's because the linebackers chose to hit the wrong hole, bro. You know what I mean? So I think a lot that's missed on a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? But I think, what I'm saying, I think they can get better at honestly, I think they can get better in that. And that problem there is a problem that can improve throughout the season. Right. You can't get better getting bigger. They ain't gonna get no bigger. They got who they got. But technique, right? And missed assignments, because you hear them talk about all the time, MAs. Missed assignments, that's what you can't have. You see what I'm saying? That's what you can't have.
And to piggyback on your point, actually Bishop Thomas do got some pressures on the season. It's just y'all don't realize it because Jordan Dominique got the sack, or Taj Austin, got the sack. And so even when he got the fumble recovery, he the one he put the pressure to force the quarterback to move for us to get the turnover, for him to get the fumble recovery. But we don't think about those things because all we think about is who made the sack, right? Or who got the fumble recovery, but we don't think about who caused all that to happen.
Yes.
So
yes,
he does have some pressures on the season. It's just we don't see those type of things because our eyes are looking at something else and focused on something else, but you're not paying attention to who's really causing situations to happen.
Yes.
100% right. 100% right. 100% right.
Coach Kev brings this up here, and this is something that I noticed at least on a few of our pressures and sacks that we had with Arizona State, is that we were running some stunts that were getting some guys free, some things that have been used against our offensive line, to cause some confusion, get us into some chaotic situations. The stunting you really helped improve that pass rush in the second half against Arizona State. I think that was huge. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, Bishop Thomas is a guy that's, perfect for stunting because you can kind of run him, all over the line, so to speak. But we got to remember too, these players are going to make improvements throughout the season, like we've seen with Amari McNeil, for instance. Bird and I were talking about him earlier today. And given another offseason after bringing in some big boys in the interior, this defensive line's not too far away from having a lot more success, no doubt. I highlighted a couple things right now that I wanted to bring up, see if you guys have had a chance. I'll start with you, Rob. How do you feel about this new commitment that we have? I did a video on him, and I already forgot his first name. Amontre Bradford, is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts on him?
Man, it's one of the key pieces that we needed. A big defensive end, 6'4", 290. Something that we really need on that edge. What I like about him is that he's not only he gets to the pass rush, but he sets the tone in the run game, right? He's going to set that edge. You're not going to get outside runs against him, things like that. So he's a bulldog. He's a machine that he can really get out to the quarterback, but he can also stop the run. So I really, really love his tape, everything he shows, and he's going to benefit. Plus, his cousin's going to commit to us here pretty soon. You heard it.
You think so? You think he's coming?
Yeah.
That's what I'd hope so.
That's all right.
Do you think that he'll play both ways or be a defensive back? What's his name again? Mikkel?
Yeah, Mikkel.
Yeah.
But yeah. He's gonna commit here pretty soon. Just be on the lookout. He'll be there.
I think so, man. And I loved how Bradford took his visit to A&M, and then immediately when he got back, he committed to CU. I mean, how perfect is that? I just, Aggie fans, man, I take pleasure in that, not going to take a day and think about anything like that. Nah, man, thanks for the free trip. But, I'm coming to Colorado, man.
He was one of those solid commitments that I said that, already solid committed. He was just waiting to come out publicly. So we got 3 or 4 guys that solidly committed. It's just a matter of them coming out public with it. So we got the commitments already. We just waiting. I mean, I know who they are, and I don't want to mess up kids, commitment or anything like that. So that's why I don't want to say too much about it. But we do got solid commitments already in the folds. It's just up to them when they want to come out publicly with it. But we got some guys on the way for sure.
Man, I've always said, Colorado is a defensive lineman's dream. I mean, guys, Colorado is the most watched football team in America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In America. Why wouldn't you want to come play here? And the opportunity to play here. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to sit behind some of those schools. Not everybody, but you're going to have to sit. You ain't sitting.
And you forgot the most key piece. Warren Sapp is coming.
Hey, when is he gonna get his piece of paper? He got to get his piece of paper before he can. You think he gonna get it this summer?
Well, I mean, he's always been an analyst on Coach Prime's staff, going back to Jackson State days. He didn't really take it serious when he was at Jackson State, but now that he's at Colorado, Sapp is taking it serious. So he should be definitely ready to go on staff by the beginning of this offseason.
Yeah. All right.
Y'all know what he's getting his
honestly,
degree in?
To me, honestly, does he really need to go to class, or could he just pay in?
I mean, granted, it ain't my rules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
That's kind of why I'm at with it. So it's like, does it really? He can't really do nothing but be an analyst role right now anyway. So after the season, now you can start maneuvering pieces around and putting people in different places. So yeah, have that piece of paper. That's all I'm gonna say.
Now, what about T.O.? I mean, he's almost like an honorary staff member at this point, man. I feel like he's, been on campus throughout the year. I mean, that would be cool, man. 3 gold jacket. Did he graduate before he went to the NFL? I can't remember.
T.O. got that piece of paper, but I just don't think he wants to coach in college. He loves the role he's in, that analyst role. He can come, he can work out, he can give his points, do what he got to do, and get up out of town. So I think he's going to stay in that role, and that's kind of the role that Sav's been in for the last couple of years under Deion Sanders, of watching film, giving his, calling guys, doing these type of things. But Warren Sapp actually truly wants to coach, and that's the difference. T.O., he don't really want to coach. He loves the game, and he loves Coach Prime, and he'll give back, but he don't really want to coach at that, because coaching, man, that takes a lot. That's a lot of time from friends and family and what you want to do and how you want to do it, and you can't go hang out and do all this type of stuff. So I think T.O. loves that part of, him being able to come and go. So
no doubt. Okay, well, I got to start wrapping this up, guys. Again, thank you so much for your time. Let's zoom back into this week, man. Who are some of the guys that you're hoping step up and have their moments this week against Stanford?
I guess I'll jump in there, man. I'm looking for Jordan Dominique. I want Jordan Dominique. I want him to have a 3-sack game. Honestly, I always thought that he was the best defensive end that they had on their team. I want to see Jordan Dominique get 3 sacks. I also want to see Carter Stoudemire. I want to see a complete game from him. Coach Prime talked about it earlier about he basically played his man incorrectly, and that's why he gave up that touchdown there. But I've always been high on Carter, man. That man has the size. That young man has the size to really be something. I'm worried about his weight. You know what I mean? I think they're going to have to move him to safety eventually, but at 205 pounds, that's pretty heavy. But I'm looking for Carter, and I'm looking for Jordan Dominique. So those are my 2 guys.
Love it.
I actually think Carter Stoudemire got the right size, man. I think he's actually gonna be fine. He's gonna grow and get better. But that's good. I think he has good size for a corner. We need that.
Oh, I do too. Yeah. I don't disagree. Yeah.
For me, I just want to see our defensive line this week just be dominant, right? Going up against this run, just be dominant, and hopefully we can put out the right 2 linebackers together that's not running behind each other. Hitting the hole. A lot of times you'll see, Juju hit a hole and a linebacker follow him right into the same hole. And it's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, come on, man. Like, you just created a big run because you went right behind the like, come on. It's just common sense. But nah, I just want our defensive line, man, just control the line of scrimmage. This game's on the trenches. That's how I look at this game. This game's on the trenches. It ain't on nobody else. It ain't on the skilled players to this game. It's solely on the trenches. Offense, defensive line, and those are the keys to the game right there. We got to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
No doubt, man. Yeah, some other things that I'm looking for, man. This should have happened by now, but hopefully we got a chance to see it happen. Travis Hunter get his first touchdown as CU buff. I would love to see that this week. I think he'll suit up. That will be great. And then, man, Lord, can we have a clean game on special teams? I want them to make a difference, man, and helping this thing become a win. How about that? Not one of these things where for every good play we make, we're making 3 boneheaded plays, man. Like touchback every single kickoff, and I'll throw a bonus one in here, man. I want to see Ralphie, run pretty far this home game. There's been some talk about how Ralphie 6, she might just not be into this. We had to retire Ralphie 5 because she was an absolute menace and kind of the opposite, man. We just need to retire her. She was a little too dangerous, a little too amped up for it. But man, right now Ralphie 6, I don't know if we need to get, Ralphie like some Buffalo size like cocaine to hit before getting out there on the field. But, let's just get Ralphie amped up. I want to see Ralphie amped up, getting out to at least the 50-yard line. So there's my prediction or my hopes.
I've seen the Buffaloes back in the day when the runners beside the Buffalo literally drag the runner. Like they failed out and got drugged. Where is that Buffalo at?
It's so funny. I got a friend here that went to West Texas A&M, and they're also the Buffaloes, and they have a live mascot bison, technically, a bison buffalo or whatever. But, theirs isn't like professionally trained like ours is, like Ralphie is. So, man, that thing just got loose all the time, man, on the field. And it was just just absolutely terrifying, man. But, I think this little Ralphie, she's a little shy. I'd be a little shy too if I was going out there around a bunch of these celebrities and stuff like that too. So, maybe she'll just get more comfortable with it, or maybe she just needs a pair of those prime shades. Am I right? And you look good, you feel good. That's how I feel about it. So but man, guys, thank you so much. We'll have to do this roundtable again. This was
I'll get it fixed, bro.
Hey man, you got it fixed, man. You fixed that issue faster than anything we've seen fixed on special teams, man. So you can't give yourself too hard of a time, man. So Rawhide, let us know where everybody can find you at and what they should expect seeing from you throughout the rest of the week.
Hey guys, you can get at me at Rawhide Media for You, man, on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Raw HM4U on Twitter. For the rest of the week, guys, I got to get my pregame show out, guys. I may be touching on a few other teams, so I talk about any and everything. Honestly, I mean, hey, people who watch me and get in the comments, you can drive what we talk about, so I can talk about it any and all.
Love it. Link to his channel's in my description. My video along with RobDaMan Media. Rob, where can everybody find you and expect to see from you throughout the week?
All you gotta do is just type in RobDaMan Media. You see it there on the screen. Just type in RobDaMan Media. You can pull up. You can have a good time, man. We talk about CU football, but we talk about any and everything on the channel. You never know who's gonna pull up to the channel. You might see some former coaches, some former players, players' family. You never know. You just gotta tune in because, man, it's always a great show that's going on. I will be live in about less than an hour, so just pull up to the channel. We have a good time. Hey, that thing might go left, it might go right, but we're gonna steer that thing back in the right direction. And I always say that every show. So, man, you don't want to miss out. It's definitely a great show that you want to tune in to and subscribe to, because, man, it gets funny, it gets interesting. We get into certain deep topics at times, so you don't want to miss out, man. Just pull up to the show and you'll have a time of your life. You'll get on that show, it might turn into a comedy show one night. It all happens. You never know.
Dude, you're definitely right. I'm gonna have to make a cameo here at some point, man. I'm due for one. So, man, I appreciate you guys so much. Again, thank you to everybody in the comments. Maybe I will give our special teams a little pump up, maybe Ralphie a little pump up of her own, on the side before the game, if you know what I'm saying. And, it's going to be fun. So appreciate your time as always, everybody, for being here in the chat. We'll see y'all later, and Sko Buffs.
Go Buffs.
Go Buffs.